New research has found that 2/3 of women would keep personal fertility issues a secret from their manager, and that the subject of IVF and adoption remains a taboo topic in the workplace. But with 1 in 6 couples struggling with infertility, is it time for us to be more open about it with family, friends and employers? And Saira, you've been very open and honest about your experiences here.
Yeah.
But at the time when you were going through your IVF journey, you chose to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because it was 11 years ago when I was going through that, when I found out that I was told, you've got endometriosis and you've got a very, very slim chance of getting pregnant.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go down the IVF route. And I tell you why at the time, the endometriosis wasn't a shock. It was that, hold on a minute, I was really fit. I've always looked, you know, I work out a lot. I eat really healthily. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. And I'm thinking, that is why?
That's everything they tell you to do.
It's so unfair. And also, I was 32, so my life up until that point, you know, I was into my job. What I wanted, I kind of got because I put my mind to it, and it was always that, you know, work hard and you'll achieve it. And this was one thing I could not control. I can't control what my body is doing.
But what stopped you saying that at work? Was it because you felt somehow...
embarrassed, a failure, not a woman. I felt like there was a part of me that wasn't functioning as a woman. And I think, again, take this back 11 years ago, we weren't talking about a lot of women's issues then. And I think I felt I let my husband down. I felt like I'd let Steve down badly. And all of those emotions, and I think I'm one of these people that I just go, well, it's a problem, we're just going to solve it. And I keep my problems to myself.
So it wasn't just your employers that you didn't tell? Did you not tell friends and family
I didn't
either?
tell anyone.
Wow.
And we went down, so we then decided, OK, well, what are our options? Adoption was one, IVF. We thought we'd try IVF. And IVF's not something that you do want to scream and shout about. It's a very intense kind of, you know, journey, and you don't know if it's going to work. You spent all that money, you invested so much emotion. Honestly, you know, I went through it. They collected 4 eggs. They put 2 eggs inside and 1 survived, and that's my son Zach, who's 11 now. So, you know,
So you were one of the lucky ones.
I was really lucky and so grateful.
You could have spoken more openly about it, or do you regret not telling people?
Really good question.
Thanks.
Yes, really good question. You're really good at this.
Note the date and time, please.
I wish I did, because I think then my family would have understood why one Christmas Steve and I just took ourselves away. Why,
because there was children
because
there.
there were children and families, and it's what I wanted, and it wasn't happening for me. And also, you know, I did get a bit kind of... At Christmas, obviously, people send photos of their children and stuff, and I just look at them and go, lovely, but I can't
in a
feel
way,
it, and I wish I had told them.
Yeah, I mean, speaking for them as well, if they don't know, it's very difficult, isn't it, for other people to know. So you probably got a lot of, when are you having children? When are you having children? You know, like people do. And they don't know any better because they don't know that you're struggling.
And Jane, that you know, when people say that, when they said it to me, I just think, I just used to say, well, it'll happen, it'll happen. And I don't say that to people now if they've been married for a while and then they're not having children, because there's a whole host of reasons why that you don't want to ask them that question.
Did you see the Mail today? There was a great bit, actually. CNN presenter Hannah Vaughan-Jones, and she and her husband have spent £80,000 on IVF, and
it's a lot of money.
Finally they kind of got to the point where they said, well, we've got 1 egg left and it might not be very viable, why don't you just give it a go? And, you know, she's now due on December the 23rd.
That's amazing.
But she's written what I think is this amazingly honest piece where she talks about feeling really kind of angry when her friends were getting pregnant and she wasn't. And it's a very human emotion, that, isn't it? And, you know, not enough people, I think, put that kind of stuff out there so that people know how to behave around somebody who is struggling. I mean, I had a bit of that. I mean, I had my second daughter when I was 42. There was a very old friend of mine who I kind of always thought just didn't really want to have children or wasn't that bothered. And suddenly there was this real kind of wall between us and I couldn't work out what it was. And then eventually I sort of just plucked up courage and said, look, have I done something to upset you? And she said, no, but I can't cope with the fact that you're pregnant.
But
it was really tough.
Don't you think it's hard on both sides, really, because also if you're the friend who has easily got pregnant and you have a friend that's struggling, you feel guilty almost for finding that so easy. I know.
You've had that.
Yeah, well, when I was pregnant with Kira, my sister Bernie, she got pregnant at the same time. There was literally going to be like 3 or 4 weeks between us. And obviously in the beginning it was all exciting and, oh my God, they're going to be like twins and... You know, we discussed everything, and then very sadly, Bernie miscarried, and then the whole rest of my pregnancy was, she was fantastic, Bernie, and I said to her eventually, I almost feel guilty every time you're here as my stomach's growing and we're feeling it, you know, the baby kicking and all that. I said, I feel guilty, and she was like, don't ever feel guilty. I'm going to love my niece and nephew with all my heart because it's not that child I want. I wanted my own.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that... And she was the first one to hold Kira and...
That's
well,
beautiful.
after me, obviously, because I gave
Did it
birth,
make
so I
you
thought-
feel kind of a bit awkward about your pregnancy?
Yeah, really, really did. And I, when she was coming in to see Kira, when Kira was born, like the first day she was coming in, she was one of the first to come and visit, actually. And I thought, this is going to be so... Like, when she picked Kira up, I wanted to sob.
Yeah.
But actually, she didn't cry at all. She was just obsessed. She loved her.
When I saw other women pregnant and I couldn't get pregnant, I wasn't angry at them at all. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
It's more envy than...
But I was angry at myself. Like, why isn't my body working? Come on. You're angry at yourself. But some people are envious and jealous because it's not happening to them.
We've had some
I get
great
it.
comments, actually. Should we be more open about fertility struggles? Michael... Yes, men included, of course, because men have fertility issues as well. Marie, women will be as open as they want to be about such a sensitive topic. Some women can't talk about it for years, and that's totally their prerogative, which is, again, you should be able to do what you want.
And I think that's it, really. It's not even a male-female thing, it's a person thing. People cope in different ways. You coped in your ways, you go in and it becomes a battle, and other people want to sort of share. But I think it's not should you, it's just you should be able to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you can help other people not feel alone in this.
Exactly.
It can be a lonely experience.
Exactly.